separate.
And just to be aware, I did have a conversation with Josh from Conservation, today and 2 days ago. And he said I just didn't know the details, but the payback is like 2 to 3 years when you switch it, so the payback for the full 30, whatever the total is quick turnaround, in the electricity that you save. I didn't realize it was that fast.
And again, but keep in mind that not all electricity is related to the lighting, but the portion that is
Yeah.
goes pretty fast payback.
Yeah, and that's really quick. I always thought it was years.
Okay.
Okay.
Are there any other questions for the library? I appreciate that you come asking for a reduction in property taxes. That is very helpful and makes us happy. And as always, we really appreciate the library and everything we do and the broad range of services and people who are, take advantage of the library. And I think the library touches, I say this every year, but the library touches the most people, the broadest swath of people in the village. It's really important.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And if you ever have any extra chairs, roll them.
Yeah, okay. So
noted.
7 cheers of
Even from
mine.
the conference room.
The old,
These are probably from 1950. I'm not kidding.
Oh, wow.
Okay. All right, what would you see in a resource center since Elizabeth is here? We're on page 89.
It's been Bruce luck.
Does anyone have any questions? Hmm?
There was, I don't remember where, but I thought there was an increase in salaries or in the total budget. What was the main cause of the increase?
3.8% in the salary line item. My recollection is that reflects the wages for the new program assistant
At 15,
at 15.
from
yeah,
13.
From 13.
Oh, okay.
Plus this COLA that's built in at 2% currently in the draft budget.
Is that the biggest increase? And is there any other big increase that we should know about?
Well, page 90 is a page that has the details that the tax levy supports. From my perspective, it's pretty vanilla. Other programming went up a couple grand from budget, and I think, if I recall, it was more of a 2019 budgeting issue than anything else. I don't believe the fundamental aspects of that changed, but in a $100,000 budget, I think it's very, very consistent.
Why is it so,
Hmm?
I'm just looking at, we budgeted for 87,000 for 2019, it's coming in at 68 projected.
What line are you on?
I'm on page 91, like total program
Oh, okay.
expenditures.
Mhm.
Yes.
So why is it coming in so low for
Low for this
projected?
And why
year,
is it so
and
low?
then it bumps up, and
$30,000 difference between this budget coming up and projected actual.
SRC goes up 10,000, or 10 between projected, it's still very support.
Yeah, I don't, oh, there's 8,000 in, consultants, that wasn't in anything in 2018,
Okay,
but that's
that would,
still is 20,500.
yeah, and then SRC programming is,
Yeah, a lot of the
Oh.
expenses are projected a lot less than
Okay.
budgeted. I mean, that is a big difference, a quarter of the expenditure.
Is there anything
What are you thinking?
Actually, I didn't take note of the difference. Mark, can you help me on where?
Well, I think the if I understand the conversation is, why are the 2019 numbers coming in lower than the 2019 budget?
Mhm.
Is really
yeah,
And then we.
the initial take. We can identify
On the
the
Benjamin
changes.
Fund expenditures?
Yes.
where's the Shorewood Connects consultant in 2019 projected? Didn't we have it?
Well, when we do our programming budget, we're doing it in July, and then we're anticipating certain programs, and we're rolling out things that don't always work, so that, some of the programs I had budgeted for mindful art and activities, and that didn't fly, so we pulled that, and that was $2,500. And I had another, meditation program that wasn't going, and so we pulled that, and, I had an instructor go down, so we lost that program, you know what I mean? So we're planning and trying to roll out new programs and testing the water, so I'm budgeting for if they're gonna fly or not, and they don't all go, so,
What about your consultants? You said, you had a Shorewood Connect, would that show up in 2019?
in 2019, the Benjamin Fund paid $2,200 for the yard cleanup. That would show up in programming.
So in 2020, under consultants, we're just trying to figure out where the 8,000, why I didn't spend the 8,000. In 2020, the Shorewood Connect facilitator shows up under consultants.
That, that is the match for the, I was trying to keep it so you could see. That's the match for the age-friendly, that the budget is supporting. The village taxpayers spend $6,390 for the Shorewood Connects facilitator. That represents the Benjamin Fund match to, implement the age-friendly plan.
Oh,
So, but on the note, it says under consultants, Shorewood Connect facilitator, Benjamin Fund match.
Yeah,
Is that the Shorewood Connects program, or is that implementing the age-friendly plan? Or are those two different things? Those are
that's,
two different things, right?
that's, the Shorewood Connects is, the facilitator is implementing the age-friendly plan. It's all under Shorewood Connect.
Oh, okay.
And so the total amount that we are budgeting is 2 times $6,390.
Right.
Half Benjamin, half
$6,390. That's
taxpayer.
great. So how's the trust doing? Is it,
Very well. I think that it was approaching 1.6 million the last time
What
that
did it start at?
I looked 1.2.
Yeah, right. Growing with our
So
interest.
we've been able to utilize that and grow it.
good? Wonderful.
Yeah, it is. It's a wonderful
But Mark,
gift.
shouldn't we show the Benjamin Fund as a revenue coming in and then show the total cost of something, including the Benjamin Fund and I'm confused.
Well, Benjamin Fund contributions are the third line item down on page 91
Yes.
in that section.
Right,
And then all the costs going out are below that.
but
where's the
Elizabeth,
cost?
the cost is $63.90, and Elizabeth is saying that's only the levy funded cost, that's not the,
Well, no, that's the Benjamin Fund cost. The levy is under the Shorewood Connects on page
Oh, is this just
90.
under?
90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you look at the details page, they're actually right across from each other
Yeah.
on page 92.
This is a
6390
sub-budget
for
of the
Shorewood
full
Connects, and then the Benjamin Fund takes that total and matches it on page 92, if you wanna maybe glance at
So
that.
92 is the breakout for 91, is that?
Well, yeah, it's the blue items in the tax levy
so
fund.
these are two separate budgets that you have to add together to get to the total SRC budget, is that correct? Or this is a sub-budget of the SRC?
No, the one is the administrative activities that are tax levy supported, the other is the
Oh,
programming
okay,
activities
all right.
funded through ESAD and the Benjamin Fund.
So,
So
I
where
mean,
does
it
the
just seems-
6,000 show up in the
Yeah,
tax?
it just
tax
seems
levy?
odd to have half of it in one side. It's like they have two separate, they have two side-by-side budgets and they put half
Got it.
under administration, half, I just,
Well, last year, Mark had separated, so that all the tax levy was in on the page 90 portion.
yeah, no, I get it. I mean, that
Okay.
makes sense. It makes sense except on something like this, that's a single
This would be an
expenditure that's
exception, yeah.
split
Got
between
it.
two and it's
Yeah.
confusing.
Yeah,
And are there other things or is this it? That are split between the two?
as far as I know, that's the only thing that's shared in both sections of the budget.
Okay, I think we can handle it, it's a little confusing, but we can handle it. Trustee Carpenter? Yeah.
One other question about when you said other programming, that 2019, you thought the budget was budgeted in error. But it looks like in 2017 and 2018, it's more of a similar number. So
Which line is
it's
Total
page
programming
9,
expenditures.
Yeah,
So
other
that,
programming,
so that, other programming, it reflects in the revenues, the programming grants, those numbers should always be equal. So that programming grant that we get in, that is reflecting $2,000 that, we are expecting for T-shirts from the Oaks and Harvard Chase, and, the men's club gives us a little money for bike bells, and then we have, money in a general fund at the foundation that, pays for the Memory Cafe holiday party. So that's how we're reflecting those revenues coming in and going out.
Okay.
Any other questions on?
No,
Okay. All right, thank you.
excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was gonna keep the seniors health real quick.
Are your eyes itching right now?
A little bit.
So
Allergies
my,
are going
I
crazy right
just
now.
started, I don't know if it's somebody in this room, but I started kind of got the same thing, so.
You wanna touch
Hey,
up
Siri,
page
someone
95
else
here
or
real
text.
quick, just to be thorough? The Shorewood
Yeah,
today.
let's
Yeah.
move on to Shorewood today.
And this is built off the 3-year agreement that the board approved last year, so there's really not much going on. It's all driven by contract.
What does the contract say about increasing professional fees every year?
To 52.5 in 2020.
So it does say that?
Mhm.
So, so when we reevaluate, will that be in a year, next budget, or the following?
In 2021,
Yeah.
you would look for a 2022 and beyond contract.
So
Okay.
3 year after.
It was a 3-year.
Okay, I'm just wondering, just to keep in mind, professional fees, the amount that it goes up, in my mind, should kind of match what we are giving to our staff as they increase, like, kind of do the work that we don't have a staff person to do, but.
I'm up for that.
Okay, and the only other thing I wanted to mention is just keep an eye out on advertising, because I do think it's gonna be growing, I mean, and then can we ever lower and get rid of the property tax subsidy from advertising that keeps the rates? I'm assuming there's no rate increase in this, and it's just more advertising?
I am unclear as to structure of that agreement. I believe there was a slight rate increase in the contract agreement.
I thought we
Yeah.
adjusted that.
Yeah.
And
We did the first
the
time, but I'm just saying,
foundation.
even since then, so last year, they raised, $3,000 or $4,000 more in advertising fees than projected,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and so it's extra money.
I had a question about
Should take
our
away the whole
2019
tax subsidy.
adopted budget. I remember that we added in Shorewood Foundation, and we're able to reduce everyone's contribution, but we didn't do that at adopted budget.
No, that was not part of the adopted budget. It was post-budget.
Oh,
What was?
How we got Shorewood Foundation
Okay,
to
that
pitch in,
explains.
and that lowered everybody's contribution.
That's correct.
I mean, at the same time, we're still paying Jennifer Anderson $6,000 for, some number fewer articles.
Mhm.
Which is on the list.
Okay, yeah.
it's still an incredible bargain, the quality of the magazine. When I first started, we were paying this much just for like a mimeograph 3-page news flyer that went out.
Well, the thing that with any kind of programming, because from being in the bid for 6 years, if the first few years, people are getting used to it or whatever, and it's not as successful, but once it takes off, and we've had Shorewood today for quite a while, the advertising fees, eventually, your hope is that it's such a great product that they will, you need no subsidy, can operate on its own, and so it's appearing that that's happening, and I'm really proud of that, because it is such a great publication.
I mean, people do, and on the community survey, people always say, oh, I learned so much from Shorewood
Right.
today, but then if you ask them, like, have you heard of do you know what the Human Relations Commission is? And they're like, no, I never heard of it, so sometimes I find, like, people say they read it, but I'm not sure how much, like, people really retain from what they read in it.
Yeah, What would be great is if once the tax levy gets, advertising fees takes over, we can utilize that funding if you wanted for more communication about other things.
Yeah, I mean, I think over time, we've definitely, like with Wilson Drive, now with the water meters, with Lake Drive, I mean, we have been a lot more communicative with people, and I personally think the postcards are more impactful. But anyway, did you
I
have?
do like postcards.
The only thing I had on page 96, I mean, it's not really a big issue here or there, but it seems like these are the numbers for the 2019
Yeah.
budget.
Were they not updated?
Nope, I had the same thing.
All right,
Professional fees have to be.
I mean, it's
that's
not-
my error, I'll
It's
update
not a
those,
big-
thank
It's not a
you.
big deal, I don't think it matters, I just wanted to
I'll
point
take
out.
what's in, I'll
They
take the
should
detail,
matter.
I'm gonna take the detail. Joking. You can change the other numbers.
Did anyone else have anything to say about Shorewood today?
No, I don't.
So we're just putting that on the list, adjusting the goal for them, it's a
You
goal.
wanna put a levy?
I don't know if you can, right?
No, that's a contract.
Oh, gotcha.
So, but
So
when
for-
it comes
when
up.
it comes up, okay,
Mhm.
got it.
So we're only paying $2,000, but everyone else is paying $3,000?
Right, at the end of the discussion, because the village supports their billing and
Oh, the
their
other-
transactions, they
Right. Okay,
finagled that, so we have
And they didn't wanna raise their
$1,000.
advertising rates, so we just gave a number and they said we'd rather pay more, each of us, than raise the advertising rates.
alright, why don't we head into utilities?
Very good.
Okay, parking utility. We're making great progress, congratulations. Okay,
Those were the three easiest budgets. I'm like half funded by
You
outside
wanna just
people.
go questions, right? That's fine, I mean, I don't need to
Yeah.
yeah.
necessarily expound on any of this unnecessarily.
The Leghorn